know, I'm sure you might have seen some of the chatter online. Some people complaining that it should have been stopped maybe a little earlier because it seemed like Darren's body was just kind of fighting on autopilot, and there was just nothing behind the eyes for a while. So I guess when you're in there, did you feel that too, and have you since reflected on the stoppage at all?
I don't have my phone on me, so I didn't really see any of the comments or anything. But yeah, when I was in the cage, it was there was multiple times where I had him hurt, and I felt like I just needed to be patient. That was really kind of the name of the game of this fight, was just be patient, because Darren Elkins is a tough guy who can give you a fight for 15 minutes, even if he's close to being done. So just wanted to be patient, but I did see he already looks kind of cross-eyed. So, and I hate to say that, or I'm not making fun of him or anything, but after hitting him a couple of times, I couldn't tell if it was just his natural look or if he was off balance. You've seen Darren Elkins fight, everybody has, and he always seems to be wobbling anyway. So I don't know if it's if he's hurt or if he's just naturally wobbling. And but there were some shots that I landed with him on him that maybe would have taken other people out. So I got to rewatch the fight back and see how many shots were on the ground, but I know it was more than 10. Sure. So and they were all clean, and some elbows as well. So. And that up kick too, he took that like a champ. So I had to rewatch it back to give you a solid opinion on it, but I felt like I did a lot of damage to the damage.
And you mentioned the up kick. That obviously seems to be the massive turning point in the fight. It seems like after that he was, like I said, nothing really going on. Yeah. Obviously you're throwing that with purpose, but to land that, it seems like 2-3 follow-ups back to back. So I guess just walk me through that sequence, because you don't see a lot of up kick rocks like that.
Yeah, I'm one of the guys in the gym that gets that uses that to his advantage. I'm nothing but extremities, arms and legs, and so off my back, that's such a dangerous weapon. You see guys, Nico Price is really good at it. Some other guys have some pretty crazy up kicks like that. And so Darren Elkins, I knew was going to be a heavy top pressure type of guy, but if I could get any space between us, wanted to throw elbows and I wanted to throw up kicks, because I've dropped people with body shots. I'm in the gym, I'm a bit nicer. I'm not going for headshots with the kicks from the bottom, but I go to the body a lot and stop people in the gym with body kicks coming up. And so I was happy, and I wanted to be able to test it to the head, or just in a fight. And so to be able to do that was nice. But man, he took it. I landed a couple good ones on him, and and he almost fell into a triangle, and then still had his wits about him to not get triangle choke. So, he's a tough son of a bitch.
The broadcast seemed to think that maybe you were kind of letting him try to take you down, because it seems like when he would close the gap is when you would kind of do the most damage. So I'm curious, was that the game plan?
Yeah, well, are you talking about when I was on my back?
Well, kind of both, and when he was kind of trying to...
Yeah, I'm just, I fight a little too stand-up-ish, and I'm not worried about being on the ground. So, you look at my record, I have just almost as many submissions I have, or TKOs as I have submissions, 80+% finish rate. So, wherever the fight goes, I want to be offensive, whether it's submissions or it's damage, and so I'm not really worried about it. He's obviously a tough, top-pressure guy, and I wanted to be a little worried about that, but just more of time on the clock. I didn't want to let him sit on me for too long, but I always want to create damage everywhere, and I wasn't worried about wherever this fight took place.
You mentioned at the beginning, fighting Darren Elkins, he can come back. We've seen him come back. That Bektic fight, he was losing 2 rounds pretty handily, and then he head kicked him. So when you're in there and you are connecting with these up kicks, and then, like I said, you can't tell if he's rocked or not. What is it like to put that much damage on someone and him still trying to just fight back?
It was just like I said earlier, it's patience was the key to this fight. But yeah, it's I'm kind of a sick guy in the sense my favorite thing to do is to fight. And sparring days are my favorite days, and so I enjoy it. I want to just keep doing more and more. 3 first-round finishes is great and all, but it's I fought 7 minutes last year, in 2 fights. It was only it was less than 5 minutes tonight. I want to get more time in the cage. So although getting finishes is fantastic, I just really enjoy the time in there, and so. I would have gone 15 minutes with the guy, but to save my coaches from having heart attacks and my wife and my son, just get him out of there in the first round and move on.
And last one for me, where do you want to go next in your career? Because like you said, 3 first-round finishes. You got a lot of big featherweight fights happening. Got a lot of big featherweight fights coming up. Are you going to kind of wait for the dust to settle on all these matchups, or you just want to get back in pretty quickly?
Yeah, possible. I think a fight tonight, the Silva versus Mitchell fight would be 3 first-round finishes for myself. I could maybe get a top 15 fight would be nice, and the winner of that would be a top 15 fight. So. Maybe that, I'm good friends. I'm not good friends, but I'm decent acquaintances with Mitchell, and I've actually trained with Silva as well. But in this game, you got to fight the guys that you train with and that you know, and you guys can like each other and still fight. So the winner of that would be nice, but I'm not close to any opportunities for anything else. Melky Costa just beat C-Rod a couple weeks ago. I beat C-Rod, kind of in the same trajectory as well. So I wouldn't mind that fight as well. But anybody from prospects to veterans, I'm with it. Thank you.
Julian, right here, right? Congratulations on the win. Just a quick one. You mentioned patience being the key to this fight. Ahead of it, you also said that you kind of had to convince yourself not to brawl. And I'm just wondering if that was more in regards specifically to Darren, or is that something like moving forward you want to focus on the technical side of your game more?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of the fights that I've won that have been super great fights have been fights that I've gotten dropped in. I fought Nate Landwehr, he dropped me, and then I knocked him out. Sean Woodson dropped me, and then I choked him out. Jourdain dropped me, and then I choked him out. I have fights that are fantastic fights that, people love to watch it and it's entertaining, but if I want to continue if I want to continue winning fights and not take as much damage, that's the way to go, But obviously, Darren Elkins, I wanted to be patient because of him specifically, because he's a guy that's not going to shy away from 15 hard minutes. And so I knew that was going to be there, and I wanted to prepare myself for the long haul. But and if the fight ended short, that's just the cherry on top for me.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Julian, were you disappointed you didn't get the guillotine trifecta?
Yeah, only 2 guillotines I have on my professional record. It's my 42nd fight as a professional. My last 2 fights, C-Rod and Ramos, and then I got called and told about the Elkins fight. I was like, well, that dream's gonna go out the window, because I think I could have Darce choked him, because my Darce choke is pretty unstoppable when I lock it in. But the guillotine, Dano Pineda tried guillotining him a bunch of times his last fight and couldn't get it, and he has a killer guillotine, so many first-round finishes with it. And so I just told myself, don't just jump on that first opportunity. Maybe in the second round, third round, if he was tired and he was kind of just giving it up, and I could get up anytime I wanted, maybe go for it if I had the energy on top of it. But for me, it was just, I think the TKO was the better route for me.
Understood. And 9 years ago, you lost to Paddy Pimblett for the Cage Warriors title. When you fought him, did you think he would become a star?
Yeah, he was he was the next best thing at Cage Warriors at the time. He had all the hype. I actually had no idea who he was, because obviously of from a different country. But yeah, I think a lot of people think I won that fight anyways. But I knew he would be good. He was young. I think I really tested his youth at the time. I was a bit older and had more experience than he did, and I think the first guy he fought that had that dog in him. And I really made him, I think, second guess fighting. I think he wasn't really fighting. Right after I fought him, he kind of seemed to take bigger gaps in between fights. And so, but yeah, I'm happy to see that he's doing well. There's no animosity or no, hard feelings between each other. We were just talking earlier. And so, as you get older and more mature in the sport, you start to respect the guys that you have fought. And for me, anybody I fight, whether I win, lose, or draw, I want them to become the next champion, because it just puts it better on your own career, puts a better name on your own career. I fought Paddy years ago. If he becomes the lightweight champion, people go watch that fight and see that I did fantastic and arguably won that fight myself. And so, good on him.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think you're good, man. Good.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.